Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the CKC channel. And yeah, I'm your Fire Master, Owen Klaassen. And day two of the Four Queens Paradigm Chess Study Tournament. Welcome to my co-commentator for this morning. He will be joining us for the first two matches. Good old friend of this channel, Ruben Salimo. Welcome, Ruben.
Welcome, thank you.
Great stuff. Good to have you again, Ruben. And then, of course, to the two queens that's starting off this match. Welcome, Lauren, and welcome, Khadidja.
Hello.
Okay, so we're excited, guys. Day one was exhilarating. I think there was a lot of fire on the board, lots of late attacks, some slips, some dragon slips. And if you look at the standings just below myself, Ruben, it says that Lauren is leading the event with 3 out of 3. Then the rest of the pack, Jesse, Khadidja, and Robin, all have 1 point. So Lauren has a nice lead with 3 matches to go for the day. So I think everybody's still in it, but of course Lauren does have a juicy lead. The rest of the pack will have to follow their way back in. So all the best to everybody, and yeah. So to the two players, good luck. I'm gonna okay. Let's just generate a new position. I like to generate a position on air, and then yeah. Okay, let's just do this quick. I think we had two dragons next to each other yesterday. I think we might have had this position already.
Yeah,
Guys,
I
so
think this is the
I'm
same
gonna skip this one. So this looks like if you have played this, please just give me a nudge. But I think this looks new to
I
me.
don't remember.
So yeah, okay. So I think we can keep this position. It's 15 minutes aside, with a 15-second increment. And so good luck to the players. Lauren, you got the white pieces. Khadidja's got the black pieces. So you can just mute your mics, everyone, except Ruben, of course. Not mics. You can just mute everything so they don't hear us. And good luck. Okay, so interesting position over here, Ruben. We've been talking yesterday the whole time about principles, what to do, what not to do. We've seen a few things. For instance, getting out the dragon bishop can be a bit costly with time sometimes. But in general, the players have been following the normal chess rules, so to speak.
Yeah, like trying to play these positions, it's very difficult to disengage how you think in normal chess,
Yeah.
and in the natural instinct to want to jump out with your knights early.
Yeah, I think I think yeah, I played it in the previous event, and I still believe that you should plan you to get your knights out into um but it's difficult.
Yeah, it's like what I struggled with, for instance, let's say you look at where those two dragon bishops are now. The challenge for me is to understand where to put my pawns so
Yeah.
that those pieces can get into the game in the right fashion. Also, like how much do you place value on the dragon bishop?
Yeah, I've mentioned that a couple of times yesterday, but just to tell you, I would estimate between 6 and 7 points, I would say,
So
because
definitely stronger than a rook.
yeah, no, definitely. So I would even say like a dragon. Even yesterday we had this discussion with the viewers chat box. Uh,
Mm.
Everybody thought that everybody preferred a dragon plus a minor piece of dragon and a knight better than a queen.
Oh, really?
I think it would be about the same depending on the situation, but I would definitely not hesitate to give up my queen for a dragon and a minor piece, because I mean 6 points plus 3, that should be queen.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I think when it comes to arranging the pawns, I tend to try to imagine where the knights are going. For instance, Khadidja's knight is on d6, so the e4 and c4 squares are a bit sensitive. So
Yeah.
I would maybe think to play. I would tend to play. So just opening up for Dragon Bishop on G1 as well.
I see. And king safety?
King safety, yeah, is also super important. But it's interesting. I mean, the initiative is so heavy. We've seen a couple of games yesterday where it just swings from one side to the other so quickly. So king safety is so important, but sometimes you can start these weird attacks with just a flank pawn h4 h5, especially if there's a knight on
Especially
g6 or
when
something.
the knight is where it is,
Yeah.
like the one on G3 over
d3,
there.
yeah. So black can sometimes even throw in h5 just throw white off. Initiative is heavy, but like, yeah, it's also important, like you said, king safety.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
Playing against Khadidja for me, like over the board, is always it's always interesting because I feel like we've got the same way of playing, and she almost could anticipate everything I'm trying to do, and she's also quite a classical player. Doesn't really, go outside the expectations of your
yeah.
of theory. And I feel like a tournament like this or this type of game would be very hard for her because there's quite a lot of unconventional moves you have to make.
Yes, so compared to the classical rules, it doesn't always agree. But I think she's been playing well. I think when was it? I think yesterday against Jessie. No, not against Jessie. Against Lauren. Yeah, the match yesterday. Sorry. She was actually doing good, but she just missed this idea with the Dragon Bishop that was not working for Lauren, but she thought it was working, and then she sidestepped it and got into more trouble. So yeah,
Lorenzo has beaten me a lot of games, I guess.
yeah. I think the main source of issues is the dragon tactics. So by the way, hi Boom Shaka in the chat, welcome. And so yeah, I think we must maybe even make a tally at the end of the day. Jessie also just a full piece tactic. So I think amount of mistakes or blunders or fatalities due to tactics. I see Khadidja did play f6 actually.
Yeah, she did play f6, and it's very conservative. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
to kind of hold the position. And I guess it keeps an eye on d5 also.
Let's see. Yeah, of course, keeps an eye on d5. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so but I've seen a bit of a. I'm just trying to adjust my volume here properly. Viewers out there, let me know if it's a bit too loud. But I've seen also in previous games that the tournament that I played in and now as well. Lauren is doing well, but I think there's always a strive to get a knight into the center. If you can establish a knight into the center, then the knight can usually be very dangerous, because I mean the knights are always looking for outposts, and if they get outposts, then it's difficult to actually neutralize them. But the e4 is on the board, but okay, I see after pawn takes, knight takes, and then knight takes, and then queen takes can happen. And the queen might be okay for the moment on e4. Yesterday, Robin had a beautiful queen on e4. It played a great role. So I guess if you can't chase the queen from e4, it should be strong. And space is also important, of course, like any normal chess game.
Yeah, this e4 idea, what is it backed by? Oh, the queen on b1.
Yeah, the queen is on b1. And by the way, hi Muls 2010. Muls says he's a PE guy. I think I know who Muls is. Welcome, Muls. It's been a while since you've been in.
Are you Mr. Kalovich?
Yes. The people in Port Elizabeth know me as Kalovich. You see, there's a couple of chess players, Ruben. You know, chess players. A lot of them come from Yugoslavia side. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Ristovic, it's this Vich and that. So we decided to give ourselves chess alter egos with a Vich at the end. So
Yeah, that's
Galovic,
true.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
so if white is taking space, how should black respond though? I mean, if black captures, then the structure, looking at it from a classical point of view, doesn't look nice. But
yeah.
can black respond with c6 or e6? White could take more space. Black captures.
There's different ways of obviously assessing positions, and I'm sure you've run into things like 6, 7 ways you can plan or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the prominent ones, at least one which I feel is close to reality, is one about square control. The way white has opened her pieces means that her pieces have got a bit more freedom than blacks.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you look at the number of squares they control, white should have a slight edge already.
Agreed, yes. And something that also was mentioned yesterday or noticed by us is that the queens also, I don't know if I heard somewhere, Ruben, that in Fisher Random you also need to always keep your queen in mind, plan how to get your queen out. And a few times we've seen that the queen struggles to get into the game. You have to use a lot of time. So okay, at this moment, okay, white's queen is definitely more mobile, but I think it's a bit more comfortable in this random position that was generated for the queen, because if the queen was on g1, I think yesterday we saw a game when the queen was on g1, then it makes it a bit more difficult for you to plan normal short castling. Then you kind of have to go the other way or make a lot of use a lot of time to
and
get out.
When you think about it, in some cases you might have to move moves like g4, and it's not really what you want to do.
Exactly, yeah.
In order to activate your queen. And this has always been a problem for me, I think, when it comes to different types of alternative forms of chess, is then like your whole, of course that's the idea, but your whole way of thinking has to change to accommodate the new pieces, especially those dragon bishops. Like now, so you can she can take with check, right, on d6.
Yes, knight takes d6 probably. What are we gonna take back with? The c pawn can allow your queen to get into the game a bit faster, but e takes looks more natural to me. I don't know.
Yeah, but then white should not take.
But
maybe f3.
Yeah, maybe f3 or even. Can you support? Yeah, I like f3 actually because it opens up your dragon bishop as well. I like f3.
Yeah. And also, like, when you're not going to benefit anything from the capture.
Yeah.
Why bother?
Because if white captures on d6, okay, I see another benefit of c takes d6. Black could possibly break with e5. That,
and the bishop is ready to come out, and the queen also can go to c7. It just becomes faster for black.
Yes. So
for kids, we have this saying, to take is a mistake. I don't know if you've ever used it.
Okay, I haven't used it, but it sounds quite cool, because I mean, with kids, they just want to grab if they don't know what to do. So
take is a mistake.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. I see they're taking their time.
Yeah, the 15 seconds does give you a bit of safety, but I mean, when time gets low, there will be pressure. But the ladies, I think, are getting used to this time control. They got an idea of what they want, and especially, I mean, if you look at the statistics, Ruben, the actual amount of games that get to the end game, I think I've seen one end game.
Yeah, that's something I noticed. That piece dynamically accelerates the position. It's very difficult to get to a pure ending quickly.
Yeah, so the thing is, the start of the game is so critical. Like, things can happen so quickly, and
Yeah.
things can end so quickly. So I think that's why they're taking the time as well, just to make sure they're doing okay. Boom
I did
Shaka.
notice that. I
Yeah.
did notice that even if you go to an end game, the end game is so accelerated also that the general principles don't apply.
Yeah, it was actually a hectic end game yesterday between Khadidja and Jesse. They just entered the end game, and it was so sharp. It was over so quickly as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's the game is very sharp, and I think it's wise to take your time before things go
I
wrong
like this
quickly.
knight on g6. It's got a lot of useful squares.
Knight aiming to f4, knight aiming to h4. There's some possibilities. Also
It can
supporting the
push
e5
e5
break.
also.
Yeah. And Boom Shaka was recommending dragon to f3 instead of pawn to f3. That was also an option. Yes, Boom Shaka.
That would have been a very good move actually.
Yeah.
But you see, I didn't even consider it.
Because then it threatens knight takes d6 check,
Yeah.
and the dragon would hang on d5. Black would probably have to play c6 before knight g6.
Yeah. It would have been definitely more forcing.
Yeah. But Lauren choosing a more solid approach.
Yeah.
Knight g6. So what can we expect? Maybe dragon e3. Yeah, dragon e3 could threaten knight takes d6 check and dragon takes d5. But black would probably respond with a natural castle.
Which dragon would you put on e3?
Okay, that's a good question. I was immediately thinking of the g1, but maybe it's not necessary. Yeah, she goes dragon e3.
The least active. The principle of the least active piece.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a sneak attack, but I guess black can castle here. I don't know if black wants to castle immediately, because flexibility is also important. Just an idea here. For instance, if black castle short, white might just lash out and go h4.
But does he have enough pieces?
Maybe it's unwise, because I'm already looking at e5. Then there's an option establishing the f4 square, and white can't even. Okay, white can take on e5 because the dragon is protected by the other dragon on e3. But yeah, you're right. I don't know if it's enough yet, but definitely something that black should consider.
I think that before rushing to castle, black might need to activate the queen.
Yeah, maybe c6.
Yeah.
C6 also opens up the other dragon at least a bit. I don't know if you want to move
It
it
feels
to the
weird
queen
to put it
side.
on b6. It looks like you're putting it far away, right?
Yeah.
Would be
Okay.
amazing if you could get it to e6.
Yes.
So maybe e5. You see, in normal chess, playing e5 would be a bit risky because rooks could come in the center quickly, right?
Yeah.
In this case, I don't think that's your biggest worry.
Yeah, but okay, e5 immediately would be a blunder because of knight takes d6 check, and then the dragon drops on d5.
Oh, because now there's a path to capture that bishop.
There's a threat. So maybe first c6, thinking of playing e5 next.
Yes.
And that would also invite the queen to join the game. So,
if you ever played like an opening which you don't normally play, but some of these restricted openings like the Karokan or the modern, and you struggle to get your pieces out.
Oh yeah.
It feels like that in this position.
Yes,
the
yes.
position like a Karokan.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think it is a struggle. I think Henry also mentioned it yesterday that it can be difficult for black, a lot more difficult for black in these positions that are way off chess, normal chess, like not a normal chess position. If it's very random, then a simple move can cause a lot of problems for yourself development wise from the black side. So yeah. Okay, but Khadidja probably spots a tactic. She's probably just trying to figure out what to do. C6, do you go E6? She is taking her time. She retreats to f7. She goes dragon f7, supporting the e5 thrust, I guess.
It's a very weird move.
Yeah, going backwards over there.
But I understand because maybe she's also running from potential discoveries, right?
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, in fact, if you castle, then knight takes f6 check. Isn't that just winning the dragon bishop again?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's wary of these tactics. I like c6 as just protecting the dragon, but who knows?
Yeah, and activating the other pieces too.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one of the areas where I improved the most was I bought a book called The Modern Defense when I was young, and it was so unconventional in comparison to the other forms of chess.
Yeah.
That my understanding over the board increased significantly, and I could actually see the difference.
Okay. So just you're learning this unorthodox, so to speak,
Correct,
learning new
yes.
ideas, and then you can even
Exactly.
apply it into your normal game.
Certain aspects of creativity, I'm sure, get affected, and you start seeing certain things differently. Like one of the things which really changes when you play this is you start asking yourself what each piece is doing
Yeah.
and the influence it has over the board.
And yeah, besides that as well, I think especially playing this PC30, it's it also a mindset thing because I don't know if you have heard of this, Ruben, but the Chinese players, a lot of these Chinese grandmasters have got this attacking demeanor. You see them being aggressive and
Yes.
they say that, I don't know who has, I can't give names, but they say a lot of these Chinese grandmasters have started off by playing Chinese chess first.
Yeah.
And Chinese chess is a bit less long-term positional, and it's a lot about just going forward and attacking. And yeah, okay, there is still end games and things like that. I actually have played Chinese chess. I actually want to stream it one time. But in Chinese chess is a lot about going forward, and you see it in the Chinese grandmasters play in chess. A lot of times they got this demeanor where they're just going forward and forward. So sometimes these type of variants can not only give you specific ideas, but just the mindset, because in this game it's all about going forward and grabbing the initiative. So if you use that into normal chess, then you might end up looking for a lot more attacking ideas.
Yeah, no, I got a lot of that this the Chinese chess was a bit of a different type of game altogether. When you know, like on documentary for AlphaZero,
Yeah,
they used I think they used Go as the game of choice to test AlphaZero on.
oh
And yeah, and because of the way it lends, the game lends itself naturally to AlphaZero, because what it defeated, I think, the world champion for the first time, and I think that was one game which computers had not defeated a human world champion.
Oh, you mean Go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in chess they dealt with us a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Have you played Go before?
No, not at all. I consciously try not to learn new games.
Okay.
Yeah, chess is just very demanding on its own.
On its own, yeah. Yeah, I think I've played Go maybe once or twice. It's cool, but yeah, I haven't played too much of it.
I go as far as restricting myself from learning chess variants.
Okay, so dragon to e2 was played. So the bishops look nice. These two bishops, I've got a fond memory, Ruben. It's imprinted in my brain. The bishop on e2 and the bishop on e3 will always remind me of that short castle attack in the Sicilian. Against
Yeah,
Skavenigan setup, where Kasparov played the black side a lot against Karpov
against Kapov,
and
yeah.
against Anand as well in their world title matches. So yeah,
That
that's
still
always a fond memory
the
to me. That
central
setup.
part of my education in chess, by the way.
That
That match. Because
ah
when I learned to play chess, one of the first books I had was the Kasparov Kapov match, 84 and 85 matches. I still have the original copy.
oh nice.
And and um and yeah, like this is how I thought like you should play the Sicilian, and this was the only way you should play the Sicilian until I until I ran into Fischer.
Yeah, no, that I can agree with you on that one. For myself as well, that was basically my starting point. Kasparov and Karpov. And then afterwards, there was this book that my older brother bought. The world title match between Kasparov and Anand. I think it was 93 or something.
Oh, I've never actually seen it. I
Um,
remember getting those games. I think I got them from like newspapers.
ah, yeah,
Mm.
I don't own it right now. I have it. I'm pretty sure it's at my parents' house somewhere. But it's a cool book. It's a small black and yellow book. I'm sure maybe there's more than one version of it, but
You know, the
was quite
challenge of,
nice.
of learning chess classically and then trying to understand dynamics later. I remember like trying to look at that match and the chess didn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
That 95 match between Kasparov and Anand.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they it does take you a while to sometimes just put the two together and make sense of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Now tell me, you see that B5 move that she had to make to activate the queen.
yeah,
Those were the ugly moves I was talking about earlier.
yes,
Like if your queen is on G1, you end up feeling like you have to play G4 somehow quickly to activate the queen. It's the same concept.
exactly, because now that C5 square is really soft. I mean, white can use
Yeah.
that C5 square at a leisure. Um, So it's maybe a painful move for Khadidja to make, but what was her idea there? Is she going to play? Surely she doesn't want to play queen b6. Why b5? Why not b6 perhaps? Or what's the idea?
Where did that bishop come from? The dragon bishop on C6?
Wasn't it on d8? Um,
No, this I cannot really understand. Maybe the square C4, but
yeah, because but I mean even before b5, black could play knight c4 because the dragon is restricted. It cannot jump over the knight on d3. But
and
okay, it does
on
solidify.
C4 the knight had support with the bishop on dragon bishop on F7, right?
Yeah, exactly. That as well. Boomshaka says Boomshaka was suggesting dragon to b3 at some point, or is he saying?
To B4. Oh, you said earlier on
Ah,
maybe.
yeah, and then knight b4 now. Knight b4, then the dragon has to retreat. That is what she said. That's why Khadidja, I guess, played a5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking that white isn't unhappy about anything right now. There's a beautiful knight on c5, full development, safe king.
Mm. You know, there was a book called Chess Skills by Nigel Short. I don't know if you ever saw this book.
Chess skills by Nigel Short. No, I haven't seen that one.
It's a brilliant book, especially for someone who would like to learn more about the Sicilian, because there are
Uh-huh.
some exciting Sicilian Idol games between Kasparov and Short.
Oh yeah. So when was this one released? Long time ago.
Yeah, it's an old book.
Okay.
Beautiful. It's good. I think about 6 games he analyzes in the end. Very dynamic games.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I should try to get hold of that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but the match wasn't that great for Nigel against Kasparov, but
Do you remember Nigel Kasparov saying the like his name? The match is going to be short.
Okay, I don't remember that, but that's cute. Yeah, okay. Boom Shaka said knight before knight c5. I think knight b4 perhaps was an idea. Yes, I agree, Boom Shaka. That could have been an idea to push the dragon bishop back.
That's interesting.
On to d5
Can't you just take it?
because there's two dragons.
Oh, there's knight d7.
Knight d7 fork.
But is it worth it?
I'm wondering now, yeah, because white has such a beautiful position. Do you want to give up the central control for an exchange?
Yeah, and that knight is very strong. So not only central. So here white loses the outpost control that she had, and the pawn on d5 becomes weak.
Yeah, and Khadidja's declined and played knight c4, hitting the dragon on e3. Pawn takes c6 on the board, and then knight takes e3. So the exchange of dragons happened. But okay, now Lauren's got a nice knight d7 coming up. She played it. She gets the fork in, and Khadidja plays. She's playing queen a7
e7 with the discovery.
with a discovered perhaps. So things have suddenly has moved. But remember, with that discovered, let's say you capture, white could even play dragon to d4 and block that discovered in a
And
nice
attack the
way.
queen.
Yes.
And attack the queen, yeah. And also attack the knight on e3. That should be winning, right?
Okay, but the knight first has to move. Right now, the dragon can't get to d4.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, he can't
Ooh.
jump over.
Is this right? Oh, I
And
see what. Oh, when you discover, then he goes d4.
yes. But on the other hand, I mean, let's say black has already captured the knight on f8, right? Black can capture on f1 check, dragon d4, and play maybe queen takes dragon. That's a possibility. Okay, the only problem is the knight on f1 would be stranded, kind of. Okay, maybe it takes on d4, knight d2, hit the queen, and the knight can escape. So it's a possibility to even give up. Like we said, there could be a possibility to give up the dragon, the queen for the dragon.
That's that combination you mentioned at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Of knight, minor dragon, bishop, and minor piece.
Yes. So
She's
king takes
hesitant
f8.
a little bit.
Yes, she wanted to play a rook takes, but instead king takes f8. Khadidja is on 4 minutes 23 seconds, and Lauren is on 2 minutes 50 seconds. So things are starting to heat up a bit on the clock as well. Khadidja is an exchange down, but Lauren now needs to see what's happening.
There's a thinking method, I think, that Khadidja should have used. Like the one she took, the continuation she took is definitely the inferior one. It's losing, right? With
compared to
the unclear scenario where she sacrifices something.
Yeah, so where she
goes for f1 check and queen takes d.
But the problem in that line is the knight on f8 is still alive and it can get back to d7.
Oh, because you have to rescue your knight also.
Yes. So maybe she wouldn't have time to do everything. So she's an exchange down. The knight does look good for the moment on e3, but does she have enough compensation here? You would like to play knight f4, but the knight on d3 is covering that. Rook to d8 seems very natural. I think there's play. I think there is play. But is it enough though? Because if you look at the position, what is white planning to play next? White is an exchange up, but white needs some time now to first play, I guess.
I think b4.
On to b4.
Knight c5.
Ah, okay. But it does give up the c4 square as well. So it's a bit double-edged, but I guess that's an idea, yeah. I think that's a fighting way to go. I was thinking queen e1 and get... But okay, the rook can't even get to d1.
Yeah, even if you attack that knight, you can't. It's not enough to, if you're attacking it.
I think in an interesting position we have here, knight h4 on the board. I'm not sure what. Okay, so black is probably threatening knight takes g2, right, with a pin on the rook. Things are heating up. Lauren okay, just half a minute behind on the clock. But she needs to stabilize here. She has an extra exchange. Knight to e1, defending g2. Not the move you really want to play, but she's defending. The
Yeah.
queen is also opened up, so the queen could possibly go to e4. Also, h7 is hanging.
Yes. That's much more scary, right?
Yeah, dragon g6 perhaps. Dragon d3. So dragon g6 on the board. So we should see dragon d3 right now.
But now, can the bishop go to d4? The dragon bishop.
No, the knight on e3 is in the way. So all that for the viewers out there as well, if you're tuning in for the first time, the dragon bishop moves in a straight direction first and then diagonal. So it's never diagonal and then straight first. So straight and then diagonally. So the problem is the dragon if it wants to move in a Zhangin horse movement. So to get to d4, you'd have to go via e3 and then diagonally to d4, which is not possible in this case. But dragon d3 on the board. Black, of course, doesn't want exchanges.
Yeah.
But what to do?
Can you get away with rook d8 here?
I was looking at the rook d8, yeah, just saying, okay, we can go into a normal position, chess position, but you'll have some initiative. Dragon f4 is on the board. So the interesting thing again here, Ruben, the dragon on d3 cannot capture the dragon on f4, but the dragon on f4 can capture on d3.
But here there's a threat of what? Take on f3?
Take on g2? No, there's not a threat on take on g2 because the dragon on f4 doesn't hit g2 at the moment.
Oh, there's knight
f3 is in the way.
g4. There's a threat of knight g4.
Knight g4. Pawn takes.
Oh, no, the bishop captures in the wrong way, sir.
Yeah, and if knight g4, if the knight on e3 moves, then the dragon on d3 can capture on f4.
Yeah. So that knight is pinned.
So the dragon bishops have their limitations. They do have their limitations, but there's the discovered attacks, the looming and such and such. I guess rook d8. In fact, b4 is on the board, but maybe black can play rook d8 now. Threatening rook takes dragon.
Ah, yes.
Possibly, if you think that you have enough, because in general, you would like to get the dragon for the rook.
The knight on e1 is now doing a lot.
Yeah, the knight is holding on. The knight is making sure the building doesn't collapse. So rook d8. But I still have this feeling that even if rook takes dragon on d3, queen takes, white still should be doing okay.
They should be fine, yeah.
Because white has enough pieces and the dragon on f4 is not... Oh, no. Remember, black has got 2 pieces. So after rook takes d3, knight takes has to be played. You don't want to give up your queen.
But then knight takes is a blunder because of knight takes
Knight
f3
g2.
check.
Oh, knight f3.
No, knight f3 check.
Ah. Ooh, it's eating up. Okay, this was Lawrence's idea. A very, very cool idea here. Dragon c5 on the board, countering, hitting the queen, and eyeing the knight on e3. Maybe Khadidja missed this, but it's b4 was white, actually a very useful move. Yes, that was the plan all
Also,
along.
there's another threat here of queen e4 after the queen moves.
Yes, to centralize the queen. So queen e8 doesn't look good. And queen e4 on the board. And yeah, I think white has now gotten herself out of trouble here. And she's trying to take the initiative. Dragon on f4 is hanging. What to do? e7 is also hanging.
Yeah, that was the point of queen e4.
Ooh.
e7.
Knight g6. But then dragon takes e3 and it's over. I think Khadidja is in trouble.
Can she play knight to d5?
Knight
Defending
to
everything.
d5. Ooh. Okay, that might be an only way to try and... Yeah, I like that. But knight d5, maybe rook d1. No, rook d1 is not... Yeah, right. Knight d5, rook d1.
Queen c6.
Ah. Boom Shaka was saying dragon takes b5, then go to dragon d4 maybe. Okay, we missed that. Apologies, Boom Shaka. It was a bit earlier.
Ooh,
What was played? Dragon E5. So isn't the knight
that
just hanging?
So I think some of the challenges that she was looking at with moves like knight d5 is that pawn g3 was coming.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think the position strategically is messed up for black now.
Yeah. So black is a full rook down.
No, but I think maybe knight d5 was worth trying.
It was worth trying, yes. Giving up the full piece like this, yeah, white is just a whole rook up and a nice move by Lauren. Queen e4, threatening to exchange on c6, and the knight on h4 is hanging. I think this is going to be over soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vision Zuga says we all missed the idea of b4. Yeah, b4 I think is a killer move actually. b4, establishing the bishop on c5, the dragon bishop on c5. And exchanges on e4, and this is exactly what Lauren wanted, because she's now a full rook up in an endgame. And
You know, one of the things is she really understands these bishops because she quickly sees the moves of the dragon bishops and uses them.
Yes, and that's, like I said, that's the main source of problems in this game for everyone. If you miss dragon tactics. So,
Now, I was thinking knight to c5 with the idea that now to e6 check, the dragon bishop to e5, to c5.
To c5 back.
I guess it's the same idea.
Yes, but now the dragon can't reach e6. But remember, even if it reaches e6, it's not check, because the pawn on e7 is blocking it.
Of course, yeah. But again, this is where she's really good, right?
Yeah. In the chat, dragon g3 was perhaps a better idea. Yeah, maybe. Forcing more exchanges because the e5 dragon bishop would have been hanging, and the h4 knight.
Yeah.
Maybe dragon g3 would have been more clinical.
But you could have played bishop f6 then.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, it's a backward move, so it would be a small win for white.
Yes. Pawn to h6, and yeah, Khadidja is just hoping now for something a miracle to happen here. Nothing much she can do.
To e3 and then to c5.
Yep. e3, pawn to f4 was on the board, dragon c5, and I guess the only thing left for white to do is just take over the open file, and it should be done.
Yeah.
Maybe even knight c2 and knight d4. Rook e2, threatening rook takes dragon.
Have you seen Lyndon's book?
The Reflections, the latest one? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a copy at home. Quite a nice one.
I've been meaning to speak to him. I want to get one. I just haven't. I've been busy.
Yeah, you should contact him. I think copies are running out and he needs to get more and so on. So you should get one for Christmas. It's a cool book. It's just local games, mostly 2019 and some 2020 tournaments.
Yeah,
very nice
that
one.
might be very interesting for me. I'm going to be in the northern suburbs later today. I'll see if I can contact him.
And the nice thing about it is the structure of the book. All the games have. It starts off with a diagram of maybe a critical position of the game, so you can try to figure out the puzzle, and then afterwards they give you the answer, and then after that they give you the whole game as well. So
nice.
So you can use that with your students and just literally use every position as a puzzle. So yeah, very cool book.
Yeah, I have a principle that we don't show students games of players below 2700.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a rough one.
It's interesting for me to look at, but I wouldn't. We've got so many bad habits locally.
Yeah, I guess you can select which games to show.
Yeah, maybe like you're saying puzzle themes.
So yeah, what's happening here? Rook d5. Yeah, Khadidja is just trying to make the clock tick here, hoping for Lauren to slip up somewhere. Dragon b7 hitting the rook on d5 and the pawn on a5. So pawn takes a5 is a huge threat, besides the fact that the rook is hanging.
Yeah.
Rook d1, pawn takes pawn looks good to me.
Yeah, but this move rook d1 doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, I think it should be over soon. Yeah, it should be interesting. Can Lauren go get a third dragon?
You mean promote and say I want a dragon?
Yeah. We saw yesterday Robin executing a nice double dragon mate. Using in the middle of the board in the middle game, she used 2 dragons to mate the opponent. So
Let's say white left the 4th rank with the rook, right? Let's say he took on c7.
yeah,
Would remove like bishop, dragon bishop to d4 check pose real issues for white?
it doesn't seem like it. King f1 seems to be okay.
Okay.
Knight e5, so rook takes f4, protecting f3, threatening rook takes dragon also. I think this should be resignation. Knight d3, okay. Khadidja's hoping to get that knight on e1.
What I'm really kind of concerned about the way Lauren is playing is she's okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, she just takes the dragon. So black
nice
needs to capture.
And then she's got this bishop d5 check possibly coming to consolidate.
Yeah. Bishop d5, dragon bishop to d5 check. I mean, even if you take the dragon bishop off the board, the white seems to be doing okay.
Yeah, just king f1.
So just king f1 and yeah, it should be done. But king f1, knight takes e1, then the dragon is hanging on. But you have this check. You have this check on e6. Yeah, you have the intermediate dragon e6 check.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is now over.
Very nice design, by the way, on the channel.
Oh, thanks a lot. I had something a bit more traditional CKC in mind with red and black, you know, dragons and guys and so on. And then the queens of the house let me know that I should go for a softer color. So I had to compromise a bit, Ruben. Okay, so what's it? Whoa! Why did Lauren give up a dragon like that?
I think it's just
Time.
Time, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, this is completely unexpected.
No, it's just a game of chess, right?
Now it's just a game of chess. It's same amount of pawns.
Why didn't she do something about that pawn also on b4? I think she panicked.
Yo, that is a huge blunder. This is... I mean, she could have played... Even if she moved the dragon bishop and just allowed Khadidja to have the knight, she'd still be better with the dragon.
Now it's just drawn.
Yeah, this is just drawn now. Khadidja should take on h2 though, not rook b2. Take on h2. Rook takes b4, take on a2.
No, if I was Khadidja, I would have just taken,
she took
I would have taken on a2 easy.
Yo, so this is heartbreaking for Lauren. She's now all of a sudden facing a rook endgame, a pawn down.
Yes, from a winning position, and this can be very disturbing.
Yeah, she should have played maybe rook b7, Ruben, because now Khadidja plays king f7, and now it's gonna be suffering. Wow, this is really unexpected. I wanted Khadidja to resign a couple of times, and now she's grinding a pawn up in a rook endgame.
And you know, in this endings, the inferior side shouldn't be advancing pawns, and Lauren is advancing pawns.
Maybe king g8, king h7, throw in h5.
No, h5, yeah, like in this position.
h5 actually looked good, yeah, but yeah, h5 immediately.
Yeah. They're all rushing in this ending, and they shouldn't be.
And then look at the time, Ruben. 15 seconds increment. They were down to a minute, but now I mean they've got lots of time again. So I think maybe Lauren just got a bit too excited with the time over there.
Yeah, she was clearly winning.
Yeah, it's very sad. I mean, another nice game by her. But kudos to Khadidja actually for just sticking it out. I mean, I would have resigned already. I don't enjoy being suffering like that. But she
Like
held on.
Blake doesn't. Oh, I see her idea. She wants to play h5 with the king on that side.
Yes, king
But
h6, king g5 eventually, but
this ending should be lost.
should
Let
be,
me
yes. It should be.
see if I can find it.
Can't you even go? Okay, no, I don't want to do that now. I was thinking about playing g6 or something. But even
No.
sometimes if you swap off f and g and you win the g pawn, it can still be drawn. But okay, there's some practical problems with that.
Let me see. I might have it somewhere.
Okay, so Khadidja is taking her time now. She's got 3 minutes. Rook h2, and I think her idea is perhaps rook h4 with h5. But king g1, rook h4, king g2, h5. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
the
where she's
idea.
putting this rook is probably not the right
Yeah,
side,
but
right?
she just wants to liquidate. She wants to just simply liquidate. The rook h4, she's hovering over h4. Rook h4, king g2, h5. What does white do? Is this going to be a drawn king pawn endgame? Okay, but black doesn't have to black has to exchange the rooks now. Rook takes, king takes g4, king h6, king h4. Maybe white can hold on. Or does black go all the way, go around all the way to e7, d6, and e5?
No, but if you try to do that, black comes to g6 and then to h7. No, it doesn't work because
you won the pawn on f5.
You know, there's a moment when black can always play g5.
Is that possible? Yeah, but now what's happening here? King h4, king h6. Oh, g5 is drawn, eh? Khadidja plays
Yeah,
g5.
is drawn, not in this position. I was thinking when
Khadidja
the
plays
king is on the
g5,
black.
takes, king takes, and this is now a
that's
drawn
drawn.
endgame. Black's only hope was to run around and see if she can be in time.
Yes.
Okay,
What I was thinking was, imagine the king on g8, right?
Yeah, the king is on h5 or what?
Yeah.
No, she
imagine the
had
king
more
on
time. The king was on g4. Black plays king g8, king h5, king
Yeah.
f7. But then white can't reach g6 yet.
So he has to go back, right?
So instead of king h5, white needs to hang around and play king g4, king h4 something. King f7, king h5, king e7, king g6, king d6, king takes g7, king e5, and then king g6, king g6, and yeah, it doesn't work. I think maybe white was okay there. Okay, so this is a draw. We finally see an end game and the first draw of the match as well. Ladies, can you hear us?
Yes.
Wow. This is
I don't think
definitely
it
not
should
how
have
we.
been draw. I think I went for a quick end game. I should have played
end game.
Okay, so okay, first draw of the match. Maybe let's just ask Khadidja quickly. Khadidja, what do you mean? You should have played. At what moment? What you mean at the end game? You could have played differently.
At the end game, I could trick her at the end game.
Instead of g5 quickly, maybe try to run around. Okay, that was an attempt.
I should have not played the quick when her rook was in f4. I think I should have played g6.
That was a possibility. Sometimes even if you win the g4 pawn,
g6,
then it could still be a theoretical draw. But I think when Ruben mentioned that instead of going rook down to a2, you had a moment where you could play h5 immediately because you were eyeing the f5 pawn. That was maybe a moment instead of cutting off Lauren's king. That as well. But it's insane, Lauren. You were completely winning.
Yeah, I had like a few seconds left, and I was contemplating between dragon bishop e7 check or king f1. So I just chose
wow, that was very sad for you, Lauren. I mean, we were contemplating
g5. G5, and then you don't have the rook f4.
Maybe g5, yes, and then she has to exchange, yes. But just coming back to that position, we can discuss that endgame in a moment again. Lauren, so you But we were also thinking about dragon e6 in between check.
Yes.
Just trying to,
that was winning.
Or even if you just leave the knight and just move your dragon somewhere. But I guess it's just time pressure and you blundered the dragon. Very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah.
Because I mean, I think that move b4 of yours, a lot of us didn't understand it, but it was actually the star move to get you out of trouble, because it seemed like Khadidja had a lot of
Oh
pressure.
yeah, there was a lot of pressure on that side. So then, although I was an exchange up, I mean, the pressure was real. So that's why I had to make sure that diagonal, that dark square diagonal, I needed to get in there.
Yeah.
Because it was quite strong then.
So now you did excellent to defend and get yourself in a winning position. But also hats off to Khadidja for hanging on over there and waiting for your opportunity. I think I would have resigned at least 2 times already.
No.
No, you don't resign in Paradigm Chess City.
So
You
we
could
both
see
do great,
yesterday.
Khadidja.
and just another
I think we
question.
both do, never resign.
Just another question, Khadidja. Myself and Ruben, we were contemplating when Lauren sacrificed a pawn on d5, you declined and you played knight c4, and then those exchanges happened on d takes c6 and the
D4
dragon.
wasn't free. Was it free?
It wasn't free because you capture on
You lose your dragon, no?
You play dragon takes d5.
Yeah, but she takes knight takes D5.
No, the knight was not aiming at
it was much
d5.
earlier.
A lot. Wait, don't change the position yet. I need to first save that. But Lauren was going to fork you on d7. I think that was your idea, Lauren. So you sacrificed the d5 pawn. Khadidja, you had a dragon on c6 and a dragon on f7.
But then she goes for the exchange.
Yes. Yeah. So we were just thinking, because you were cramped, and it seemed like Lauren had like everything in the position, development, space. So we thought maybe you accept the pawn and allow her to get the exchange, but then all of a sudden you have more pawns in the center. The active piece that she had is also now exchanged off, and you have more freedom. Maybe that was an idea. I don't know if you consider that, or did you just think, okay, I don't want to lose the exchange. Let's go into
No. I considered that. I don't know. I am not scared to give the exchange.
Yeah.
That wasn't. At the end, I did give it in any way.
Yeah.
I wanted, but she had a nice move. If I took the rock.
Yeah.
On f1.
And dragon d4.
Yeah, the dragon
d4. Yes. Yeah.
And that was strong. So the b4 was really good move.
Wow. Yeah, guys, you really making me as a commentator stress more than the players. So exciting game. I didn't expect a draw. This was like the last result I expected. But Ruben, we're seeing a pure chess endgame here at the end. Maybe we're gonna have to ask you to verify later on if that was a win or a draw. Any comments from you, Ruben?
At least I think Black could put White under extreme torture for a few moves.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So well
Lauren,
played.
I have a question for Lauren. One of the things I just noticed in your moves is you've got a very clear understanding of how powerful that Dragon Bishop is. Is it after playing many games or seeing Craig's games, or?
To be honest, I haven't played as many games as I've watched. So I've watched quite a few games. Like I've watched when they were playing the social event, and also when they were experimenting as well. So I've watched quite a few games. I ask a lot of questions, but I haven't played as many games as I would have liked to.
But you do focus on the dragon tactics, though. You do try to, because it seems like you use your dragon bishops to their.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been even playing normal chess for a very long time, so I've been watching Paradigm Chess 30 more than I've been watching normal chess. I think that could be where that comes in, the understanding possibly, because I think there's a lot of strategical nuances that change with Paradigm Chess 30, which I don't get confused with normal chess, because as I say, I don't play it as much anymore.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
And Khadidja, one of the pieces I saw, or I thought that you struggled activating, was the queen, which I think made you move pawn b5, which kind of seemed a bit of a compromise in your position. Do you find that is a challenge also, that this piece is a bit difficult to get into the game, especially if it's on the wing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, b6, there was a move that I was scared of, but actually it's not. You see that dragon I thought in a6 and attacking my queen.
But it's not.
b6 would have been a good move
Hmm.
because I take the square of c5 from her.
Yeah.
But then I don't know why, after I played b5, I realized bishop, dragon a6 does not do anything again. So I always get confused. And I think this is because I should have practiced it more. I always miscalculate that the dragon has to have an open and then attack the queen. Yeah, b6 would have been a very good move, I think, instead of like b5 there.
Yeah.
And then like this, my dragon goes to b7. And then I get the queen on the other side. So I struggled. I gave her that c5 square and she could play knight to b4 early. Attacking my dragon, which she didn't do.
Rushaka mentioned this idea.
Someone in the chat, it did mention, knight b4 and then maybe knight c5, something like that.
Yeah, so I saw this and then I regret it now. I did not play b6, but it's too late. I mean.
All right, but thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ruben. I think we need to prepare ourselves for the next match. So you ladies can rest for now, and we will see you a bit later. Well done.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.